For the fans, by the fans. Welcome to the only Angels postgame show that keeps it real, win or lose. No filters, no fluff, just raw reactions right after the final out. The Golden Stamos is polished up and somebody's about to take it home. A clutch hit, a game-saving grab, or just straight up hustle. We see you. But if you played like trash, you're getting the dreaded Nacho Night Award. We saw the missed calls, we saw the blown saves, the clutch moments, and the disasters too. Your comments are front and center, and yeah, we read all of them. Wanna let loose? Call in and sound off live. No scripts, no suits, no spin. This is raw, this is real, this is where the fans take over. This is the Heady Postgame Show with Todd Fox. For the fans, by the fans.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey, welcome in everybody. I'm a little late coming on to the game tonight because we are by the fans, for the fans, by the fans on the Halos and the Infield Network. We're not like Locked On Cox. We actually go to games. We actually are there with you in the stands. Win or lose, we don't take games off. And the Angels get beat down 12-1. I had quite the few in me tonight to get through the game and get to the fireworks tonight. 12 runs, 14 hits to 1 run, 5 hits for your Angels. Angels were beat down. Angels were embarrassed by a Chicago Cubs team, which is good, but 12 runs to 1 good? I don't think so. And the Angels played down like they just played absolutely embarrassing. No hitting, no urgency. Didn't give a shit. There was a full house there, and 10 more strikeouts for the Angels. Yes, 10 more strikeouts. And when we get to the end of the season, we will tell you where the Angels finish with most strikeouts because they're going to have the most. It's going to be a record-setting season for them. All you have to do is look back on one inning. Now, I know Carson Fulmer got rocked, 6 runs, 7 hits in an inning and a third. I know Victor Medeiros got killed, 4 runs, 6 hits, or 6 runs, I should say, 4 hits, 2 walks, 2 home runs allowed. But a microcosm of the season, Angel fans, is literally what happened in the second inning. And I was having a conversation with EQ earlier in the game because we hung out and everything. And basically, we talked about what I would do if I was managing the team. And I would take every at bat, every hitter. I would be like hands on, like Mike Scioscia back in the day. I would be calling, whether or not, how I want the hitters to hit in certain situations. I don't think I would be as anal as Scioscia and be calling even the pitches, but I would definitely be calling the hitting when we need to do something, whether it's defensive shifts or hitting against the shift, hitting bunting, all that kind of stuff. I'd be calling. I wouldn't be letting these guys have free reign. I think that's part of it. The analytics and then the free reign of giving the batters their choice to do whatever the analytics say. I will say this, for a packed house, the Cubs fans, once again, second straight night in a row, very courteous, very calm, very nice fans. But I also will say this game was won and lost in the second inning. I'll get back to that because I like to stray from what I was going to say. Second inning, you have a runner on second base. You have Kyle Tucker up at bat. Kyle Tucker has used and abused us. And why would you even think of pitching to Kyle Tucker? First off, you have a right-handed pitcher in Victor Medeiros who struggles to find the corners, struggles to find his pinpoint accuracy, and he's been eaten alive by left-handers. So common sense tells you you put up the 4 sign, you walk Tucker, and you pitch to Suzuki. Righty on righty. No. Ray Montgomery says, go after him, kid. 2-run homer later. There you go. 2 more homers for Kyle Tucker tonight. 3 in the series so far through 2 games. He can hit our Angel pitching blindfolded, one hand tied behind his back. It doesn't matter. And we continue to pitch to him for some reason. I mean, dude literally switched jerseys and still abuses our pitching. However, if he becomes a free agent this year and the Angels were to sign him, he'd be ass. Because that's what kind of player he is. If you think for a moment that that's not Angels baseball, what Ray Montgomery chose to do tonight, then you haven't been watching Angels baseball. What happens tonight is just, again, another small piece of analytics, small piece of bad managing, small piece of just like, okay, we don't give a fuck. If it makes sense, don't do it. And you treat 41,000 fans to Peraza pitching, another position pitcher or another position player pitching. It's embarrassing, dude. Since when? And I will say this because I thought, well, how can I do the show tonight? How can I prove my point? Well, I'll tell you before I get into any of the uh, comments. Happy birthday, one Grill Master. And because it's Grill Master's birthday, 0 for 12 on the birthdays, he said, going to games. But let me get to my original point. How am I going to tell you guys exactly how I feel about the Cubs? Because the Cubs are now the Angels of old, and the Angels are the Cubs of old. They're called the Cubs lovable losers. They always, you go to games to get drunk in Wrigley, to have fun, to hang out with friends, college frat type of atmosphere. And going to games in Chicago at Wrigley Field was not about winning. It was about just being somewhere and hanging out with buddies, drinking. All those bars off the street right there. The Cubs have had very few opportunities. Like, look, in 1966, they were 10th place, 59 and 103. A lot of times as I'm looking through their records, very much Angel-esque, 75 and 87, 66 and 96, 81 and 81, 79 and 83, finishing fourth or fifth in the division every single year. 73 and 89, fifth place. 71 and 91, fifth place. 84, they were able to turn around. They got 96 wins, lost in the ALCS or the NLCS to the Padres. The following year, after being first place in 85, fourth place, 77 84, fifth place in 86, 70 and 90, 87, 76 and 85, 88, 77 through 85. Most of the 80s outside of 84, the Cubs were trash. So let's move to the 90s. 77 and 85, 77 and 83, 78 and 84, 84 and 78, but you still finished in fourth. 49 and 64, the season was canceled in 94, strike year. 95, 73 and 71, a modified season, still finished third. Fourth place, 76 and 86, 68 and 94 and 97. In 98, they won 90 games but got swept in the wild card round by the Braves. So they win 90 games, tease their fans just to go back to in 99, 67 and 95, finishing dead last in the NLC Central. The same in 2000, Y2K, they finished 65 and 97. So they actually got worse. Third place, though, in 2001, 88 and 74. Fifth place in 2002, the year we won a World Series, 67 and 95. 2003, they finished first place, but you had the Steve Bartman game and the Cubs lost in the NLCS. Then they came back, missed the playoffs, 89 wins in 2004. And so on and so on. They finished fifth place from 2010 to 2014. They were called lovable losers for a long time. Up until 2015 and 16 and 17, where 16 they won the World Series, 17 they were first, 15 they were third, second place in 18, third place in 19, 2020 first place. They've been around second or third since then. So 2000s, the late 2000s from 2015 onward haven't been too bad for the Cubs. So my point being, all those seasons before, they were the lovable losers. And we're talking 20 to 30 years with sprinkling in a one or two division titles, and that's it. Would the Angels be a 1 to 2, division winner in about 30 years, 3 decades? That's not acceptable. That's lovable losers. And I look at the Angels tonight, and to see the faces of Angel fans, and you know how you go through when you lose a person, a family member, a loved one, or anything like that, someone close to you, and you go through all like the different kinds of ways to cope, whether it's anger, whether it's frustration, whether it's just crying all the time, whether it's happy thoughts thinking of that person or persons. You literally go through all the emotions, and then you finally get to the one that's called acceptance. And you could kind of just like, okay, roll with it, live with it, understand this is the final, you get your closure. And you can kind of, you have your moments where you cry or you miss that person, but you accept it and you get the closure that you so much need. I bring that up saying I think this team, what they have done to us fans, unfortunately has given a lot of AM 830 propaganda. It's freaking it's freaking due. Like, people have accepted, okay, this is Artie's team, this is the best he can do. They believe the propaganda, best he can do, and they're all for it. And they're like, okay, we'll get him next time. We'll get him tomorrow. And they've kind of just gone into this like robotic state of acceptance. Other fans' ways of acceptance is, hey, smile, we'll get him tomorrow. This is still the Angels. I had a great time at the stadium. The nachos were good. The giveaway was nice. The fireworks were amazing. We just didn't get it done on the field. Acceptance. I seen a lot of fans walking around. You might as well have taken a Sharpie and or wrote it on their forehead. I accept this, because a lot of the fans are in acceptance, and that's the problem with our fan base. I think we have reached a level of Cubs fans that are just like, hey, we're the lovable losers. I love this team no matter what. We lost 12-1. We were embarrassed in front of a full house. We were on TV, and Peraza was throwing, and I'm cool with that. Let's get him tomorrow. And then you have fans like myself and most likely you on here, and you're like, what the hell did I just watch? Why do we have to watch this? Why are they this bad? Shouldn't we be above this? And again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You're going to have a loss or two like this during the season. It just happens. Whether you're a winning team or not, I'm okay with that. But had this team played consistent all year, had they been not so up and down, had they not getting in their own way and preventing themselves from losing, you couple that with managing, and it drives me nuts. Like a guy who would strike out, I would be like Carlos Delgado and a lot of these players from the past that didn't. It was pre-tablet days where they were like, hey, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna chart my at bats, I'm gonna chart the pitches, I'm gonna be better next time. I'm gonna learn the fact that, okay, I went 0 for 3 against Clemens, or I went 0 for 3 against Pettit. I need to change my game. I need to see where he was attacking me, because likely he'll come back again. And next time I'm gonna make him pay. Players like this don't do that on the Angels, or most of the league doesn't do that. If I were a manager of a franchise, I would do that. I would make sure that my players are on their game, on their tablets, watching their shit, and not only watching their shit, explaining to me, because I'm the manager, I'm the head guy, why you failed in those 3 at bats versus so and so. Why is Mike Trout lifting his leg instead of just being like Pujols and Tim Salmon, crouching down, swinging off your back foot, putting the pressure off your back foot, giving yourself a little bit more time to catch up to the fastball instead of lifting your leg, worrying about that. I would be attacking the pitchers, being like, okay, where could you have been better right here? Where could you have done this better? I'd be as hands on as I possibly could. And I would be telling these guys too, man, this is unacceptable. You have to have pride in what's on your chest. I know you make millions of dollars, but the thing is, part of that contract, and this is why, as a minor league player, former minor league player myself, I would give anything to be in these players' position. You know, some people are saying, man, these players face a lot of crap. You know, the social media, they're attacked, their families are attacked. Bring it on. Bring it on. Because I want to take pride in what I do. And I would try to instill that into my players. Take pride in what you do. Take pride. Everyone that comes to the stadium, you're representing them. Those kids, they look up to you. Give them a high five. Point at them. Sign an autograph. Throw a ball into the stands. Take pride in what you do. Be the best possible player that you can. Show fucking emotion when you've struck out 3 times in a row. Break a fucking bat. Throw something. I'd encourage that if I was a manager. Because that's how I would be if I was a player in the big leagues. I'd want to show off because this is not just theater. A lot of people think, oh, this is scripted. It's not scripted. It's real. And, you know, a lot of hopes and dreams of fans go into coming to these games. It's not all about the food that's there. It's not about the fireworks. Fans come to see you. Fans come to see your teammates. Fans come to see who's ever on the chest. They want to see you elevate their city, their team, their franchise, their love to another level. And if you could be a part of that, you've seen how you're a fan of a certain player. I'm a fan of a certain player. We all have that certain player that we grew up and loved that's our number one guy who's either on a poster, on our card, we have an autograph because that person gave us good feelings. That person was there for good moments in our lives. Like, hey, my kid was born after we won the World Series. It was amazing. You know, I remember this, or I remember where I was at, because those are great times. Those are great moments. Those are great, uh, you know, great moments in your life that you can reflect on and say, I was here when this happened. And again, a lot of people like to say, okay, baseball doesn't mean that much, or sports shouldn't mean that much to you. It's an outlet for most, but it also means something to a lot. And it could mean something to a family member. Like for me, I'll tell you this right now, straight up. Me and Papa Fox, it's not like me and my mom. Me and my mom could relate to a lot of things. I miss her every day. She's been gone for 8 years now. And we could talk about anything. We could vibe about everything. It was great. My dad, I have limited subjects I could talk about him with. But one thing we can always vibe on and talk about, good or bad, rain or shine, is the Angels. That's always been something. Like, he's very hard to talk to outside of baseball, trains, and religion. If you can't hit on any of those 3, you really don't have a conversation with my dad. And the fact that, you know, I've been able to talk Angels baseball with him, I've had him on the show, stuff like that. Like, it means something to me. You know, it means something. And I remember all the good times we've had and watching the games and hugging each other at the World Series. Those are core memories you're never going to lose. You're never going to lose. So I'm not saying it's on the players to think of every individual person that's in the stands. But at some point, you got to take pride in what you're doing and realize everyone that's here tonight is here to see us. And I'm going to try to put on the best possible show as I possibly can. I'm trying to be the best teammate as I possibly can. I'm going to try to win for these people that are here tonight. And like JG says and a few others, they need a Kobe mentality, Black Mamba, killer instinct. This team, I think, unfortunately, has adopted the mindset of just acceptance. This is who we are. We're not going to be any more better than this. And that's not fair to you and me that watch the games, that invest our time in the games, that go to the games. And it just gives people more of an out to say, hey, I don't want to watch the games. I don't want to pay Artie. I don't want to go here. I love the team. I love the players, but they're just not that good. Why should I waste my time? When you go to the game tonight and they give up 12 runs and you're losing 12-1, absolutely. That's a shit performance. And again, it's not like this can't happen in a game of 162. When there's 162 of these times, you're going to lose a game like this, whether you're a first place team or not. We've seen it with the Dodgers, seen it with the Yankees. It can happen to the best of them. The Angels could win a game 12-1. Hell, the Angels could sweep the world champions 6 times or 3 times. It doesn't matter because that's part of baseball. Things like that happen. We get it. But when you're consistently playing bad, consistently not giving the fans any kind of hope, I think that's the worst possible thing that you could do as a franchise, as players, as coaches, as general managers, all the way up to the owner. That's the worst thing you could do is just like I used to think, and this is the thing during the 2000s, when my career was over, and I looked at the former team that gave me a chance in the Pirates, and I always rooted for them as a secondary team. Like, man, I hope they're good one day. And when they had the McCutcheon years and things like that, that was fun to see. They had AJ Burnett. They were actually pretty competitive, but they would lose in the first round. But they would have a really good year. And I was happy for the Pirates and their fans because they hadn't done nothing since Barry Bonds. We all know that was like 20 years ago. So my point being with the Pirates is like going into a season like this season. And yes, there's a lot of Angel fans that will sit there and say, hey, you know what? If everybody stays healthy, if the right things happen, we could possibly make the playoffs. There could be a chance for us to make the playoffs. Do Pirates fans say that? No. I don't want us to get to that, but I think this year we are I think this year we're thinking that from the start. Like we're just not going to make the playoffs, and it sucks for any team because for baseball to be competitive, for baseball to be fun for all fans, I think you need to have a glimmer of a chance, even if it's just for April, to understand that maybe my team can make the postseason. Maybe, just maybe, if the cards fall our way, we can challenge this division. But when you could see the writing on the wall, when you can see the Angels are absolutely ass, it's like now you're just going because you're a loyal fan. Now you're just going because maybe you want Kathy's cookies, or maybe you're just going because you want that new shirt, new jersey, bobblehead, whatever. But either way, it's just sad. It's just sad. And we're going to see other teams just continue to make inroads to the postseason and whatnot, and we're still doing nothing. Shout out to Grill Master again. Happy birthday. Also, shout out to James, who was there, aka Saucy. Saucy left in the 4th inning. He's like, dude, the hell with this. Me and my wife are gonna catch a movie. And they took off. Shout out to EQ and his girl Diana for being there, for being cool, hanging out with us. We had dinner with them and then we went to the game. That was probably the highlight. Having dinner and then going to the game was different. Well, let's get into the comments because we got our ass wiped tonight. Mateo says, "Spritz o'clock, baby." I don't even know how I could play this, but fuck it.
I love winning, man. I fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Spritz o'clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
I love winning, man. I fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying?
Mateo says, "I've never heard a silent home run." It was basically a silent home run because at that point it was 12-0, and you couldn't tell if it was even gone. It hit off the top of the scoreboard or close to it, and everyone's like, "Yay, whatever." Raw Dog says 2026 is going to be our year. Season's over. Time to start looking to next season. It's today's game, the game that tells us that we will not be 500. We won't. 61 and 68. Relocate to Uganda, 10 AK says. I love Washington. It's too bad that his health won't allow him to return. Where can I buy a brown paper bag for the next game? I have a ton of them. I can't do 85 years for another championship, man. Yeah, dude. 2002 was a long time ago. This team couldn't win against my son's high school league. JG says embarrassing. Everyone says we wasted Mike Trout. I believe it's 50-50. He didn't do shit for us either. Chris, I am at that point as well. I think you're right because again, he's no leader. I wish Mike had that Kobe attitude. Me too. His teams can be so big with the right leadership. It could, and right coaching. Peraza did a great job. Tony C says, vote for Bond, says Faggy Gavin. Kept deleting my comments, shake my head, but I got some screenshots. Hell yeah. Send them over. Grillmaster says, bro, what the fuck? I'm at dinner in Anaheim with the guys. Say hi to them for me if you could. Also, Frostblaze says, even in a down year, Kyle Tucker still owns our asses. True. Dude does nothing but hit home runs against us. Jim, who left early as well, says Trent Rush said turn the page. Of course he did. Carlos says the Angels don't know what small ball is. That's true. And Trent Rush was something like this. Hey, guys, I know we only scored one tonight, but I think we can score 2 or 3 tomorrow. So that means if we can keep Kyle Tucker inside the stadium, I think we could do it. And if you don't know, you got to know. Kids run the bases for free tomorrow. So come down to the ballpark and let's watch the Angels salvage one of these games. Tyler says, it's bad when their only highlight is Peraza hitting the truck in batting practice. Boy, they were doing that on Friday too, I believe. Luke says Nacho squad. Jim says final pitchers throwing for the Angels throws 2 innings, 52-mile-per-hour pitches. Bad news, Bears play so much better. This is so embarrassing. Tyler said this felt like last year, which last year, Tyler, I went to 4 games. 4! Where this ass clown of a team decided to pitch a position player. Game 2 now, watching these idiots do a game. I again, if I'm manager, folks, I don't care what the score is. I'm never going to embarrass you and say fuck you by putting in a position player to pitch. That means you have no respect. You've given up. You waving the white flag. Sosha never did that shit because he didn't believe in that, and I'm the same way. Yankees hit into a double play, says, and this is why you know where all the beer is at Angel Stadium. Yeah, exactly. We hit the beer garden several times. Send down Maderos. He ruined my birthday. No respect for him. 007 says I only went for the hat. I left right after the national anthem ended. I knew they were going to lose tonight. Didn't expect it to be that bad. 10AK says, bring on football. Go Rams. Corey says we need to start chanting sell the team every game at home until season ends. They won't do it. Halo honks don't want to do it. And it's mostly because of guys like this guy right here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Gavin Carlson, former credential journalist in the LA area.
I got my friend here in my bedroom, my childhood house, and I really, really, really want that.
How about a yummy tasting nut?
I got to bend over and find it. I know he's front and center. Why not pull it out so you guys can see it? But looks good from behind too. Oh my goodness.
It's hard. It's hard. Oh man, it feels great. Oh, yummy. Oh, how about a yummy? Oh, come on. Magic. Oh my goodness. Guys, tasting nut.
Oh God. I mean, you could go over there to watch that show. Trout couldn't even hit the pitch clock at 83 right down the pipe. Absolutely D's nuts. Yes. He was terrible tonight again, like he was last night. We showed the highlights of that.
These nuts. Got him. Got him.
Tamir 20 says we're so competitive. Perry should be fired. Yes, I agree. Everyone deserves a nachos, balls, and shitty baseball. Boy, I don't know if this. I mean, what is lower than shitty? Because that's got to be what the Angels
Time
play.
for you to check out what I want. I want balls and
John Stamos.
Shitty baseball. Also, Mateo says, you know what? Everybody's fat.
Fat son of a bitch is going to drown us all out.
Calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat.
Yankees hit into a double play. Says, here it for the misery again. Well, you found it. Dan says, hola, pendejos. Padres beat Team Ghetto tonight at Petco. Padres are in first. F the Doyers. Yes, F the Doyers. That's one thing I said at the Brewery X bar up there. I walked up to some Padre fans and Angel fans who were watching the Padres and Angels in the ninth inning, or Padres and Dodgers. And I said, you know what we can all agree on? And I flipped off the TV and I said, fuck the Dodgers. And everyone gave me a high five. So that was fun. Dan's having fun at Petco. Grillmaster says analytics sucks. They need to remove like Artie. Also, SeatGeek has listings for the Angels in the postseason, still has a chance. EQ says fuck baseball. I think you're absolutely right. I think once we get to September, start watching football. Carlos says, I went yesterday and I think Logan shouldn't have gotten a bobblehead. The way he's hidden, absolutely. Wrigleyville is cool. I've been to Wrigley Field twice. Great stadium and atmosphere. Grillmaster's talking about things running up his butt right now, which is, I gotta find it. No, it's not that one. Not that one either.
My lips, you're ruining it. Ruining.
Stop it. Get some help.
Not that one either. I'm going through all of them. No, not that one either.
Let me tell you something about my guy, John Stamos. So I was able to go in the back bedroom and unscrew the old
balls and running up my butt right now.
You get out of it what you put into it. John Stamos
Choked on me.
He was so great.
Sega says velocity in baseball means nothing. Bersura, Mateo says, this is what there is trash. Position player, 2 nice innings, no runs. Maderos, 5 runs. Vote for Bond says, I'm having a beer for every Angels strikeout. Boy, you're going to be very drunk and also poor. Sounds like you need more depression in your life, Todd Fox. Have you considered being a Cowboys fan? No, I'm a Seahawks fan, and I think one season of not running the ball in the Super Bowl gives me enough depression. Shaunawill and Victor Maderos are going for a test. Maderos felt something pop, and Shaunawill is having the worst, or having his wrist looked at. That's great. Sega Boy says, yeah, it's sad to see Neto on the bench, embarrassed. Also, Sega Boy says, too many injuries in September is hitting us hard. Look for our boy Trout to be sent down, not sent down, but benched the rest of the way at some point, or just shut down. Let's hear more about the nachos, Luke says. Saucy says, that's my shortest stint at an Angels game. I couldn't stomach it anymore. Had to salvage the night. I don't blame you. Sega Boy says they care to sing Take Me to a Day or More. Yeah, you know what? They do that, and it's pretty damn annoying. Saucy says it isn't just the fans that have stopped believing. I don't think the players do either, phoning it in. I agree. I'm glad college football is back because I get to watch that at 1 p.m. That's when you start scheduling yourself to football games. I'll sing Nothing Else Matters or Unforgiving. The Angel Suck says, thanks for keeping it real. I think we can have a sell the team night now. Checking out. Good night, brother. Good night as well. Frostblaze says, in your opinion, Todd, what year did the Angels franchise turn for the worse? And I would have to say it was 2015, because even in those couple years where they didn't get it done, 2015, they just needed to add a couple players. They went on the cheap. And from there on, you saw them just fall apart. Then it was blame Sosha, bring analytics in. He didn't want it. Dipoto left, and then Sosha was fired. M-Dog says, left the game in the 6th. Earliest I've ever left the ball game. Booed my ass off too, as you should. Sega Boy says, this is how it is to be bad. No more get rid of calling all Angels. No more days. No more Deos. No more take me home country road. Boy, everyone doesn't like that one. Perry and Artie really aiming for the wild card with this pathetic little league team. Also, before the tablets, I mean, it was written on tablets in Egypt. That would they weren't using papyrus. Yankees hit into a double play. They weren't. I meant he had his own notebook. Maybe I should have said that. Jim says, "Can you imagine what Thurman Munson would have had said?" Jesus. Sega Boy says, "Remember these dudes said they were gonna hold each other accountable." Yeah, right. Losing Ron has led up to our mojo was gone. I got yelled at by Team DC because I wasn't doing anything on offense, and he asked what I would do to fix it, and I said I'm keeping it the same. Should probably change it. We're going back to fundamentals, Danny Glover says. Also, you can't convince me that Medeiros is a starting pitcher, then a Jack Kwanowitz start. Same results. How can this team draft pitcher after pitcher and still have no depth? Uh, J1 says, thank you for helping the Padres reach first place in the NL West. I don't know what we did tonight. Billy says, this was my second game all year. Artie Moreno's strike, and it might be the last game for a few years. Moving out of state soon. And what the fuck? A lot of Angel fans leaving the state, but I'm sorry you had to experience this one tonight. Kawanowitz would have been worse tonight, but he had a good start on my birthday last year. Yankees hit into a double play. Says, you were in the minors, Todd. Was it reality or in your wet dreams? No, as you continue to take shots, I actually played. I played for Lynchburg, which was the Pirates affiliate. Angels now have had 11 consecutive losing seasons. Nice job, owner and GM, Kyler says. Wasn't there a rumor a few months ago saying Enright was beefing with a minor league pitching coach over trying to change these guys' philosophy? That's why Dana and Aldegari haven't been good up here. Well, if that's the case, that's an organizational problem. You have to be on the same page, and if you're not, you're going to get results like this. It is ruining our development. Mateo says, I'm convinced this team is infected with number 6 ego, and I don't care about baseball. What do you think about our draft picks? I do like them, but will we ruin them? John, will we ruin them? A lot of these fake Angel fans are like are only there to socialize and take selfies and brag on social media that they are in the game. I totally get that. Also, Mateo says, I'm not accepting this. I really want my playoff baseball, Todd. I haven't experienced the playoff game yet. And you won't this year. Yes, a lot of fake Angel fans. Also, Todd, do you have a baseball reference page? I could look at one, but I don't have one. Sega Boy says they just want to sing Take Me Home. God, these fans are cringe. And Scream Deo. Perry said we were going to stay competitive. Nobody liking that song. 61 and 67. We're 61 and 68. Also, the Deo thing is overdone already, too. 500 times. I would have liked Seth Hernandez, to be honest. We will see about Brenner. I agree, John. I also wanted Anderson, but hey, they're saying Brennan has better stuff than all of them, but only time will tell, like you said. Cookies, bobblehead, nachos, $30 double shots, Angel Dogs. Also saw a Heedy Network shirt at the stadium tonight, and it was the only good thing I saw all night. There you go, Billy. There was actually quite a few Heedy shirts in the stadium tonight. So that was pretty cool, and I like that. We're starting to put a little. We're not as good as the Halo Boys. We didn't get that out there, but we did get a lot of our shirts out there, so that was cool. Ambush says Gavin's Giants beat up the Padres tonight. Actually, the Padres beat the Dodgers, but Gavin is moving up to San Francisco, so that's a true Angels fan right there. Poor Trout, another losing season for him and the Angels. I feel bad for the team and with a bad GM. We need a if you remember Batman, the original Batman with Michael Keaton, the Tim Burton Batman, the first one, Jack Nicholson said one of my favorite lines in movie cinema history. And when he said, this town needs an enema. This franchise needs an enema. If Jack Nicholson could say that, I'm sure that would make more sense. Kids run third base, then fucked up the clock. Todd, I was watching the game and turned it off to watch the soccer games. The soccer games were more entertaining than whatever the Angels did. John says, what is your opinion on how we fix the team? I've said this before, and I think it's like this. It starts with the top. The owner sucks cock. You got to get rid of him. Then you got to get rid of the president, the CEO, everything. Carpino, all those dudes got to go. Then you got to clean house with the all the coaching staff. Then you got to get a new GM. I mean, you literally have to start over from scratch. I would get rid of the medical staff. I would get over. I would get rid of everybody. I'd say, you know what? It's everybody's got to go, and I will start. I will first off, as an owner, I will be in on the interviews, but I'm going to hire a team president first. Someone that I know has the same vision that I do. A winner, building a winner at all costs, making the fans happy and the community at all costs. If I have someone that's on the same beliefs as me, absolutely. I put him in charge. I sit down, I say, okay, who are we going to hire as a training staff? Who are we going to hire as a coaching staff? Who are we going to hire? And most importantly, as a general manager, and have the general manager hired first, and then sit in the meetings as he hires people, but keep my mouth shut and see how, if that GM has the same vision that I do, because I want him to. If he has the same vision as the president and him, I want basically everybody on the same page. Know that all that talk about doing things the Halo way, we're going to make that a thing. Like doing things the Angel way is not going to be laughed at and mocked at and jeered at. It's going to be a thing. It's going to be a positive. It's going to be, if you're not doing the things the Halo way, then get your ass out of my office, get your ass out of the stadium. We don't want you part of the organization. That's what the Halo way should be. You should have a top to bottom, same philosophy, same goals, same kind of want to get things done, and not on the cheap. And if you have to overpay in some sorts, and if we're going to do something, it's going to be the Halo way, which means to the fullest. So if we're going to have to spend to get players to, from the Dominican, Cuba, Mexico, Korea, make the international signings. If we need extra scouts, hey, let me write you a check. Because obviously, as an owner, you're a billionaire. You're an absolute billionaire. You got to spend money to make money. There's no other way to do it. So you're going to have to do things like that. Take us to the old days where we had a farm system. Absolutely. Guys were cooked. They aren't getting rid of anyone going to be like this for a while. Yes, until they do something. What GM is available? There's plenty of guys who could run a franchise. It's, do they have the same kind of, ideas and goals that we have, which I don't think we have either. So welcome aboard. Kyler also says, I think the Angels losing is that at least tickets are going to be $5. You're going to see a lot of $5 stuff in the September months. Laugh my ass off. I mean, the Brewers, I'm drunk. Thanks, Angels. Also, Brewers series, big bro. Looks like our boys are just going through the motions now. Yep, Don. Seems like it. The only people that cheered Adele's home run were the Halo honks. Yeah, they love the solo blast. I mean, what can I say? Perry was sneaking in Joe Madden's locker. We ain't going to forget. Perry was also looking for Joe Madden's jockstrap. 007 says, it's pathetic when fake fans cheer for solo home run and then the Angels are down 5 or 6. It is pathetic. And they do the wave. Don says that's fucking Tucker that just sees us and decides to start playing out of his mind. Guaranteed his ass will go cold again. Yeah, most likely. Also, him breaking that windshield might have cursed the season. We ran Gavin out of SoCal. Yeah, he's back up in Frisco where he lived prior. It's going to be really on Artie's future when Audit and Skaggs case comes through, Corey says. Right now, I'm rooting for teams that play against the Dodgers, which I do anyway, Richard says, and for the teams that are still fighting for the wild cards so that the Dodgers miss the playoffs. I hope so, too. My friend listening to the show here in the car, like, what the fuck is that soundbite? Well, let's hear it again, shall we? Just in case he missed it. It's Gavin doing his Locked On Cox.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credential journalist in the LA area.
I got my friend here in my bedroom, my childhood house, and I really, really, really want that.
How about a yummy, tasting nut.
I got to bend over and find it. I know he's front and center. Why not pull it out so you guys can see it? But looks good from behind too. Oh my goodness.
It's hard. It's hard. Oh man, it feels great. Oh, yummy. Oh, how about a yummy? Oh, come on, magic. Oh my goodness, guys, tasting nut.
We asked Trout to have that Kobe Mamba mentality, but all we get is truly madly deepy, yummy tasting nuts. I want to call Trent to tell him to fuck off. Mateo says, dude, the first week of the NFL season is crazy. Lions, Packers, Rams, Eagles. It's going to be fun. Billy says, need a schedule of what games you'll be at for the rest of the season. Would love to meet you once before I move out of state. Billy, you got to come by. I won't be there this tomorrow, but I have season tickets. So if you guys want to come by 260, I'm always there in the top section next to the cameraman. So next homestand, Billy, hit me up on X or whatever, and I will definitely meet you up there. Oh no, what happened? And that's what the Cubs told us for the second game in a row.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful. How terrible! Oh no!
Neto's already thinking of football season. Lions cleats, Lions bat. Laugh out loud. These guys aren't ready for no playoffs. 2015 was fun. I was a senior in high school. Seeing them clinch was a great year. Went to the game when they beat the Mariners and won the West. That was a fun time, but not so much anymore. Also, closing time, open all the doors. He's seeing that one. They had a live band there at the game tonight. Why does Taylor Ward hustle his ass off down 12-1, but in close games? No, I have no idea, J Dog. He's still seeing that one. Also, J Dog says Oswald Peraza had a better outing than Medeiros. Don says, sad thing is for me, I don't care for football much at all. So it's going to be boring as hell till the Angels season is over. Tennis is going to have to get me to spring training. You gotta watch some hockey at least. Pick hockey if you're not in football. Pick of the drink and the stadium in the background. Vote for Bond says that Yankees fan in here, though Volpe was better, thought that Volpe was better than Neto. Everyone pointed and laughed. Daniel says almost in last place. And it's funny you say that, Daniel, because my dad thinks we're going to finish in last. And now I laughed at him. I'm like, nah, we're going to be third place. Much improved. Nah, Dad's right as well. I patched a rotation with Anderson and Hendricks. That is pathetic. We giving Hendricks his last ever start tomorrow. He's going to win, and we are DFAing him Monday morning. Call up Natera Chobin Southard. I don't know who that is. Any cops there tonight? No, there wasn't. A vote for Bond says, imagine being a Yankees fan and watching the Angels post-game show. I know, right? Yankees hit into a double play. Oh, jeez. Also, all these bottom rotation pitchers are interchangeable, just all around shitty and not ready. Oakland ran us down in the words of Ron Washington. Also, we are building. We have been Perry is all smoke and mirrors. Tony C, my boy, says, do you think Trout will ask for a trade finally? We need to get number 6 off the books next season. Artie will have to force to sell the team in December or November. The Warriors owner will buy them. Look, a lot would have to happen right there. I'd like to see Artie move on, and as well as Mike Trout, but one thing at a time. Mike Trout's, I don't think he'll ever move on because he doesn't care about winning or his legacy. If I had the legacy and the pedigree that he did, I'd want to win. I would have requested a trade a long time ago. I would have never signed that 13-year contract. I would have said, look, if you're not going to build around me, then I need to go. I want to win. I want a title. I want to be in the playoffs habitually. I want to be there every year. It's definitely not here. Our focus, Mateo says, is going to be running down the West, and you could take that to the bank and deposit it, a.k.a. our boy Ron Washington. The front office loves to bamboozle the fans so much. Feel sorry for so much, Phil, but sorry, but then I don't. Arturo robbing Orange County once again. The A's will surpass us. Father Time is undefeated. Happy wife, happy life, Beckham. Mateo says there are rich teams, there are poor teams. There's 50 feet of crap, and then there's us. It's an unfair game, and now we've been gutted. Also, Mateo says, Todd, to lighten the mood, I need some Marsha. $5 super sticker. I love it right there. Thank you, Tony C. Gavin is a walking meme. I agree. Why does Kyle Tucker turn into prime Barry Bonds when he plays this? Dude, I don't know. Mateo says Angels are probably worried about the fantasy football draft. Sega Boy says this team needs a Rowdy or a Nelson or a Denzer. No more Logans, Taylors, or Michaels. EQ says give Artie the check. Also, one of the Halo brothers looks like a girl. Give Rendon a 400 million contract. You mean this guy?
Oh my God!
It's not a good looking girl. Let's just say that.
You serious?
Also, EQ says, I'll tell you this, everyone is pissed at Artie. And Michael Gibby says what we were saying earlier. Kyle Tucker owns the Angels. You know what? He'd be a better owner than Artie. I mean, but that dude can literally swing one-handed, blindfolded, and still hit it to the scoreboard. Don says, oh, yeah, you got to get me into hockey. I need to learn more about it, and I'll definitely support the Ducks. Well, you know what, Don? I will have a ticket for you and a friend to come down to Duck Stadium this season. I'll do that for you. Bring you to a Ducks game, hang out with us, watch the game with us, and hopefully you could become a Ducks fan. Mateo says Angels are like, hey, what's the fantasy football draft order? Mike Trout is like, I don't know. Who wants to draft first? Also, jean jacket with a pink tank top is wild. Woodstock called. They want their clothes back. Oh my goodness. Wow, those guys. I needed a laugh. Thank you. Thank you, Tyler. We're definitely vibing. Definitely. Oh, I would have loved to seen him there. I mean, everyone and their mama was there tonight. Gavin is a blue tank top and skinny jeans and crazy. Yeah, he's basically getting back on the bandwagon of tight jeans when everyone's going to baggy. Bilson says the last Halo game I enjoyed in person was Game 1 at the Rockies, 2023. Oh, he was there, 24-1. Funny thing about that one, Bilson, if you remember the rest of that series, games 2 and 3, the Angels got curb stomped in both of those games, and they outscored the Rockies by 10 and lost the series. Raiders 702 says, we are so done. I think if anything, Raiders fans, if you are a true Raiders fan, focus on the Raiders. Look, I had Pete Carroll as my coach for a long time as a Seahawks fan, and not this year. They'll be improved, but not this year. Next year, you'll see them start pretty crappy probably, but they'll get it going. They'll be mediocre to above mediocre to finish the season. You'll see Pete clean up a lot of that crap, and then watch next year. The Raiders are going to be, dare I say it, competitive. Bilson says went to every game that series, outscored the 29-7 and lost the series. See, Bilson remembers. That was absolutely pathetic. Also, John Segaboy says John in the cheetah leopard print thong and black leather jacket. Vote for Bond says that pick screams North Hollywood. That's where they're from. Trout was lied to though. Artie is such an asshole. He pumped up Trout so much, saying that we will build around you. We need Kyle Tucker hands down. Get rid of Dumble ears off season. Smash the like. 714 tickets. Use the Heedy code right there and get your 10% off if you want to watch Angels or any other team. Again, NFL, you want to go to SoFi, watch the Chargers of San Diego of Los Angeles play, or the Rams of St. Louis of LA, of Anaheim, of LA again. Then you can go and find the tickets and pay way less than you would going to the box office or any other site. Tyler says classic Chico's fit. Yes, very much Chico's attire. Danny909 says they ran into promotional hats before the game started. I heard people still get their giveaways away into the game at Dodger Stadium. Pathetic. Won't be going to a game anytime soon. See, fans like you, Danny, I have all the respect because you make a decision. You make a line in the sand and you don't cross it until things change. And if that's your silent protest or protest, by all means, I support it. I just hope that you come back with the enthusiasm when this team does and hopefully change for the better and makes the postseason. It would make me and everybody else happy again to see Angel fans, the real ones, come back to celebrate a team doing good and also just celebrating this team again, just being competitive and not feeling like we're going to lose every goddamn game. Gavin's favorite topic while podcasting from Chico's is analytics. 714 tickets, max market pros. Got go, not the Angels, but go Todd Fox. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Tony C. Sega Boy says, who's got a thing for young surfers? I think it's a certain somebody.
I need your seed.
Who's got the biggest biceps? Marsha. Who's got shoulders like a man? Marsha. Who's got a red bitch wit? Marsha. Who's got a thing for young surfers? Marsha. Who put the drill to grill? Marsha. Who could slam a shack? Marsha.
Congratulations, pal.
We definitely need her or him or they, them back on here to talk Angels baseball. It's not every day where you can have a former WNBA player come on here and tell her love for the Angels to you and express her love for the Angels for you and other young men, apparently. Mateo says, Todd, do you think the team is more worried about fantasy football than baseball? I don't even think they care right now. They are so far checked out in a season where they're not even that far out of it if they were to make a run, but we all know they're not capable of that. They would have to win 5 here, lose 1, win 5 more or 6 more. They're not that team. They're just not. They don't have the pitching for it. They don't have the hitting for it. I even think they have the hitting for it or they have the pitching for it, but they don't have the hitting for it. Right now the Angels are 61-68, just 2.5 games in front. No, 2 games actually in front of Oakland / Sacramento. They have minus 87 run differential. Sacramento has minus 85. The A's are 77-3 in their last 10. Angels are 4-6. They're 10.5 games out of first place. Are the Angels? They have a 0.5 chance of making the postseason. So, congratulations, pal, indeed, to the Angels. As far as the wild card, 7.5 out. So again, no deal. There's not a chance that they make it. So Roger says the season starts tonight. I bet they got phones in the locker room. That rule was gone once Ron was booted out. That's for sure. Imagine when Rendon plays 140 games next year. That motherfucker better not put on an Angels jersey. Here, so before we get out of here, I'll give you guys some Roger Lodge and why everyone should not be watching AM 830.
Display. Nobody does fireworks better than out at the house that the Cowboy built at Artie's Made Even Better, a.k.a. the Big A Angel Stadium, where you can still get 4 tickets to the game, 4 hot dogs, 4 soft drinks, all for $44. But can we get back to the words I heard on this set earlier this morning?
He's got a bone to pick with you.
I could not date a man if he had a dog. What are we doing? What are we doing, people?
You know, yelling in doesn't make you any smarter. I think Stephen A. Smith, Roger Lodge, other people think that just because they like to yell what they have to say, because sometimes they yell in here, but it's out of passion. Some of these guys will yell just to yell to sound like they're more important or to shout down whoever they're talking with. To me, that's just ignorance in my opinion. And boy, oh boy, I mean, he's old, dude. Roger, and there's nothing wrong against old people, but doing your thing and you haven't aged well, you haven't changed up your game to adapt to what the Angels are doing, or you haven't even said one time your true feelings. Like, if he was somehow a friend of mine, I'd be like, dude, it'd be great to hear what you really think, because I can't imagine that bootlicking houseman thinks the way he does about the Angels. You have to hate where this team is going, but no, we get sound bites like this.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight. Anymore. I just can't. And they can fire me if they want, but I can't sit around and listen to negative phone call after negative phone call. If you're a so-called Angel fan, if you're a Halo honk for life like me, then shut up with Sosha's got to go. It's this guy's fault. It's that guy's fault. Forget it. Let it go. We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight. If you don't want to say anything positive here this afternoon, stay off of my phone line.
Okay, we'll stay off. Nothing like a 12-1 blowout loss and then fireworks show. Marcia needs to choke hold Artie to sleep. Catch Roger hitting the Pookie on Beach and Lincoln by the rallies. Boy, that's not a good area. Anywhere near rallies is pretty shitty. Roger Lodge is great value. Stephen A. Roger Lodge is 65. Goddamn. Grillmasters has got my buds home. Time to go home and cry my eyes out. Don't take it too hard, man. We are a shitty baseball team. You should be aware of that, Grillmaster. All right, so we're at the hour mark. It is 11:25. We got a morning game tomorrow, or at least the afternoon game, 1 o'clock. I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to roast in the humidity. Next homestand, I will be there, so hopefully you guys and gals can come out and say hi, and we'll get back onto it. Also, we have to get back to being good team at some point, right? Like, this losing can't last forever, but damn, how many more seasons can we go for? And that's the real test of the Angel fans. I keep saying, once the things turn right again and get better, we will all celebrate together. But till then, we're going to have to just keep navigating through the shithole that is this franchise. Happy birthday again to Grillmaster, one of the OGs on the show. So we love all you guys right there. Shout out as well to you, Mateo, and everybody else on here. And Don's been around forever. And with that being said, we will see you guys and gals tomorrow on the post-game show. I might be doing it from my cousin's house, so because I want to go in the pool tomorrow. And we don't have a pool at this house. I just redid the deck again, fixed it, finished it. It's all done, finally. And maybe, just maybe, I will say this. How would you guys like, and gals, like to be invited over to my house here in beautiful Whittier, California? And we have a party if this team were to make the playoffs. Because I will definitely throw that out there. Instead of going to like a Brewheim, instead of going underneath the halo, I mean, maybe we do that the game they clinch, but having an after party at my house, dude, my big ass deck, I could show you the deck. It's pretty big. I know that sounds weird, sounds like something Gavin would say, but it's nice. It's nice. See, Tyler, Todd wants to show us his big deck again. But I would barbecue for the fans. I would barbecue for my brethren that love the Angels, because that's what I like to do. I want to be close to the fans that love and obsess over this team and want what's best for this team. So, Todd, go and swimming in that thought. Man, you guys suck. But man, if it's as hot as it was today and it's humid, I might just have to take that chance, but I'm not going to put it on social media, and it's not going to. So there you go. And I'm not swimming with baby oil either. All right, everybody, have a good night. Angels lose again. Let me tell you whose fault it is, and then we'll celebrate the solo blast, and then I'll play you out on that. Have a good night, everybody.
It's me.